Hi everyone, welcome to Technology World Hub. My name is Anil. So in this session, I am going to discuss one most important topic, that is API automation using REST assured. So let's start that. So let me open the slide. Okay. So let's discuss what is REST assured. REST assured is an open source Java library used for testing and validating RESTful APIs. So what exactly REST assured is? REST assured is an open source Java library. Basically, it is a open source Java library which is used for testing and validating RESTful APIs. It is built on top of Java plus HTTP client plus JSON parser, and it makes API automation simple and powerful. So basically, it is built using Java and HTTP client with JSON parser. Parser is JSON, and it makes API automation simple and powerful. Okay, basically it is a open source Java library used for testing and validating RESTful APIs. Next thing is it is built using Java plus HTTP client plus JSON parser, which makes API automation simple and powerful. It provides a domain-specific language for writing readable and maintainable API tests. So it uses a domain-specific language. So I will come later. What is domain-specific language? Let's understand what is a RESTful API. So what exactly API is? API full form is Application Programming Interface. An API is like a bridge that allows two software systems to talk to each other. Let's say two software systems are there. How they will communicate? Through language. How exactly we communicate? How I am communicating with you through language. Human communicate through language. That's way how both software will communicate. So both software will communicate through APIs. For example, your mobile apps talks to backend server via APIs. So whenever like we use mobile apps, so what happens? Like let's say we are opening WhatsApp, Gmail, any app. So what it exactly does? So basically it talk to the backend server via APIs. That's how it communicate. Okay. Obviously it will talk to the server, right? So how exactly it will talk to the server? So through APIs. So REST. What is the like REST? Representational state transfer is an architectural style for designing APIs. What exactly REST is? REST is known as representational state transfer. It's an architectural style for designing APIs. So basically, it is an architectural style for designing APIs. It uses HTTP methods like get, post, put, patch, delete. So REST assured basically uses HTTP methods for API testing. So these are like get, post, put, patch, delete. Data is usually exchanged in JSON or XML. It is stateless. Each request is independent. Why it is stateless? Because when client send one request to server and server send the response, so that request will be like that request will not store, like it is independent. Okay, so each request is unique and all are independent. That's why it is called stateless. An API, so basically API, an API that follows REST principles is called a RESTful API. Okay, guys. So basically, what exactly REST API is? So an API that follows REST principles. It's called a RESTful API. Okay. So what are those RESTful API principles? Let's see the principles of RESTful API. First thing is it is serverless. That means server does not store client state. Basically, let's say the client is sending a request and server is sending the response. Without storing the state, it will send the response. If client send one more request, that will be a unique request. So server doesn't store the state of the request. So that's why it is called stateless. Then client server, clear separation between front end, that is client, and back end, that is server. So always front end will be client, back end will be server. So client sends a request to the server. So both are separated, clear separation. Uniform interface. So basically what it does, standard way of accessing resources. So it's the way to access the resources. Then cacheable. Responses can be cached for better performance. So we can cache the response for faster or better performance. Okay, basically we'll store the responses in cache so that it will be faster. Okay. Then layered system. APIs can be designed in layers like security, load balancer, etc. So different layers are there. So these are the like principles of RESTful APIs. Okay. So next, as you mentioned, like REST assured uses domain specific language. Let's understand what is domain specific language. A domain specific language is a mini language designed for a specific purpose domain. Okay. Unlike general purpose programming language like Java, Python, a domain specific language focuses on making tasks in its domain simpler, more readable, and expressive. Understood? Compare with Java and Python. So these are programming language. But what exactly domain specific language? Domain specific language are readable. Like a layman, anyone can understand. Technical person, non-technical person, anyone can understand that. It will be a simple, plain English language kind of. Okay. In REST assured case, the domain is API testing. So what exactly we are doing here? We are basically doing API testing. So instead of writing long boilerplate Java code for HTTP calls, the REST assured provides a DSL, special syntax that makes the test look almost like plain English. Okay. So instead of complex like boilerplate Java code for HTTP calls, the REST assured provides a simple like DSL specialized syntax using given when then. So let's see that. So example, let's see. We'll find out what exactly it is, how exactly it is doing. So for example, we'll see example without DSL. So without DSL, how exactly it is written, and with DSL, how we are writing. So example without DSL. Without DSL, what exactly we usually use Java plus HTTP client style. Okay, without DSL. So how exactly we write? HTTP client is equal to HTTP client dot new HTTP client. Okay. Then HTTP request is equal to HTTP request dot new build. Okay, HTTP request is equal to HTTP request dot new build dot URI, that is URI dot create dot build. Okay. Then HTTP response string response is equal to client dot send, that is request HTTP response dot body handlers dot off string. Then system.out.println response.body. Okay, that's how it works without DSL. Okay, then next let's see how it works with DSL. Example with DSL in REST assured. So it will be given dot base URI, that is https://reqrs.in dot when dot get slash API slash users question mark page is equal to 2 dot then dot status code 200. How exactly it is? So basically it is following kind of cucumber like BDD format kind of BDD format it is following. So given when then. So given we are passing on base URI, then when, then get, then there will be a status code. Okay, see the difference. The REST assured DSL makes it max, it will look like a sentence. See, it looks like a sentence. Earlier it was kind of complex boilerplate code which was written in Java using HTTP client. Okay, so in this case it makes so simple actually. Given a base URI, when I send a GET request, then the response should have status code 200. Okay, simple. So in simple words, DSL, a way of writing code that feels like natural language specialized for a particular job. Okay, so natural language specialized for a particular job, kind of English. If you see here, it is a BDD like implementation. And rest assured, DSL, writing API tests in a human readable and maintainable way. Understood? So here, what happens? Writing API tests in a human readable. Anyone can read that, right? Given we are passing a base URI, when we are getting like get that endpoint, we are using the endpoint to get the response, then status code should be 200. Okay, and maintainable way. It can be maintainable. So simple. That is called DSL. Okay, so rest assured uses a DSL. That is British style, given when then. So next, the most important part is rest assured version CRUD. So CRUD operation in API testing using rest assured with Java. So what exactly CRUD is? What is CRUD? CRUD stands for create, read, update and delete. Okay, these are the four basic operations performed on data in APIs or databases. Databases also we do that, right? Like that. Create, retrieve, update and delete there in the database. So here exactly kind of similar way, create, read, update and delete. Okay, that is called CRUD in APIs. So key features, what are the key features of REST API? Basically it supports get different HTTP methods. I think already we discussed earlier. So what it support? It support different HTTP methods like get, post, put, pass, delete, request. That is comes under CRUD operation. Just now we discussed. Built-in support for JSON and XML. It supports JSON and XML. Easy integration with TestNG, JUnit and Cucumber. It can be easily integrated with TestNG, JUnit and Cucumber. It supports authentication like OAuth, OAuth2, basic, bearer tokens, etc. It provides BDD style syntax like given, when, then. Rich assertion capabilities with Humcrest matchers. Okay. Then it has different dependencies. Like so basically for rest assured, if we want to execute rest assured and do the API testing, we require one Maven dependency that is called rest assured dependency. Okay, we can download it from Maven repository. Okay, first thing is that while creating or while doing API testing, we usually do some assertions. So although rest assured have some assertions, but for some additional assertions, we can use Humcrest. So Humcrest will give you some better assertions. If you see here, like in my project, basically I have added in the form.xml, I have added both these dependencies like rest assured, which I discussed, rest assured, sorry, one second, rest assured, as well as what, Humcrest, both I have added. Okay, so let's go back. Then next will be, okay, we'll start the CRUD operation. The first one is create. What exactly it is? It adds new data, that is add a user, for example. So what HTTP method is used? It uses post HTTP method. Okay, so it's a, so how exactly it is? Like for example, given dot content type application slash JSON dot body. In that body, we will provide, let's say, name Anil job QA dot when dot post. Will provide the endpoint dot then dot status code will be 201. So for create, status code will be 201. Let's start the, let's start our program. Okay, so let's create one class called, let's say, rest assured test. Okay, so what exactly we are going to do here, basically in this class we'll create, or we'll basically create all the different HTTP methods. Okay, so for that, for doing that, I am going to use one website, that is reqres.in. Okay, so if you'll see here, one second, so I have also one more thing, one second, let me find out some. So it will be https, one second guys, we require some URL, right? https JSON placeholder. Okay, this one we can use. Okay, so let's open this. Yeah, perfect. So we can use this one. So okay, let's create one post method. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll write down @test. So here I will use, okay guys, so you require one more uh, dependency, Maven dependency, that is testng. Okay, you will see here testng I have added. So what is the benefit of that? In the sense, in this class we can write down a test. In every test we can basically use one HTTP methods. Okay, so let's start. So let's start with post method. So I will write down one method name, let's say public void post example. Okay, post example. So what I'm going to do, I will write down rest assured dot base URI, because I require one base URI. Base URI, rest assured dot base URI. My rest assured dot base URI will be, one second. So rest assured base URI will be this one. Okay, so I just paste here. Okay, this is my base URI. Then, as it is a post method, I need to send the body, that is called request payload. So let's define some body here. So string, let's say request body. Okay, how exactly I'm going to do that? See, just observe here. So I will write down like three like three open inverted, then three close inverted. Okay, in that I will declare my values, which values I'm going to pass. Okay, just observe how I'm going to do that. So let's say I will take title. So title, for example, title. Okay, let's say title is India. Title is India. Then I'll write down name. Name Anil. Okay, so let's say I will write down one more thing, that is body. So let's say body, and I will provide the name as, this is post test created, this is post test created. Okay, using rest assured, using some meaningful name, using rest assured. Okay, some meaningful name I will provide. Okay, then I will provide user ID is equal to 1. So user ID is equal to 1. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do here, in the post request I will create the post request using this request payload. Okay, so how exactly I'm going to use this? So it will be response is equal to given. So rest assured will be BDD format, given when then. Just to read that, right? Given, then I need to pass the content type, given dot content type. So let me import the starting method. Okay, so basically what it will import, rest assured import io dot rest assured dot rest assured. Okay, so now given dot content type dot content type. So content type here it will be content type dot JSON. I will pass content type as JSON. So content type dot JSON, then dot body. I will pass the body. So the body which I have created here, that same body I will pass. That means request body, which is created here, JSON format. So I pass the body here. Then once I pass, then I will write down when. Okay, when, then I will post. So for post, what I'm going to do, I will just go to that website and get the endpoint. Okay guys, so if you will come down, you will see one post request. Can you see here? Post. What is the endpoint? This is the endpoint. Slash posts. Okay. If you click here or if you open here, then it will show you. Okay, this is the post request. So what I will do, I will take this endpoint and I will use it in my code. So I took the 1 second guys, 1 second. So it's only to take the endpoint. I just require only endpoint, nothing else. Okay, it took the endpoint. Okay, so post, then dot, then 1 second, then dot status code. I'll check the status code. So always for post the status code will be 201. Then I will write down dot extract dot response. Okay, then I'll print the status code. So that's how it will be. So let me print the status code. Let's say system dot out dot println. So what I will do, I'll print the status code. Let's say I will print response dot get status code. Response dot status code. Okay, it will print that. Similarly, let me write down one more CSOR statement where it will print. Let's say response dot get status line. Okay, let's say to print response dot get status line. That's how we print. Then let's print response. 1 second. So this out. Let's print response dot h string. Okay. Then let's print response dot JSON path dot okay get string of title. Let's say what title we pass here. Pass the title is India. So how exactly we'll find out? Response dot JSON path dot get string, because that is string type variable. String. What exactly we require? We require title. Okay. So it will print India. Like that, also we'll put some assertions. Let's say we'll put assert equals sorry assert equals okay 1 second. So here or else what we can do, let's put something assert dot assert true. Okay, assert dot assert true. In that case, what we'll do, we'll just write down response dot get status code. Get status code. Okay. Then we'll write down status code should be 200. Okay, something like that. some meaningful name. So we'll write down status code 201. Okay, understood. 1 second, I'm just checking. So basically what it is telling, it is a required type boolean provided int. Okay, this require boolean. Okay, understood. So in this case, first what we are going to do, let's check the method. 1 second, I'm just checking. So here let's put something like response dot get status. Let's see, response dot get status line, let's say, then dot contents, so status contents, let's say 200 created, 201, let's say created, right? Okay, status line 201 created. Then assert equal, let's say assert, we'll put one more assert dot assert equals, then response, so response dot JSON path dot get string of name. Okay, then what I'm going to do here, I'll write down, let's say name will be what, Anil. Okay, name should be Anil. Then I'll put down one comma, then name should be Anil. Name should be Anil. Okay, let's run this. Let's run this and we'll check that. Okay, so let's run this. We'll check the post method. Okay, let's run it. Okay guys, it's running. Just wait for some time. One second. So what is the error here? 1 second. Let me check that. What is the mistake? Okay. So base query, this one is not required because already I put it there. So let's run it again. So it should work fine, right? So let's see that. Okay, let's see what happens here. So 1 second, maybe some network, so I don't think any issue here. Just let me check. So status code, then the status code 201, this seems fine. Just checking 1 minute guys. So then dot status code 201 dot extract dot response. That should be fine. So where exactly the issue? Java.lang dot assertion error, one expectation failed. Okay, let's see that. What are you telling? Expected status code 201 but was 500. Okay, so let me check where exactly the issue. Let's check one by one. So what we did, we just created one base URI, rest assured.base URI, okay, which is JSON placeholder typicode.com. That is fine. Then we just created one request payload, string request body is equal to title India, name Anil, body. Okay. So here I think it should be comma. Okay guys, so simple mistake also, it will create a difference. So okay, this is done. I think it should work now. Should be fine. It should work now. Let's run this and I will check. You need to be careful, like writing that just now. One comma or one colon, anything, it will fail. So let's see. Okay, yeah, see, it works fine. So any small mistake you need to verify. So what exactly it did? Okay. So 201. Let's see one by one. So basically, we write down response.status code. So response.status code is 201. Okay. Then after that, response.getStatus line. So this is the get status line, http://1.1.201 created. Okay, this is the status line. Then s string, it will print the whole JSON. See, whole JSON it is printed. Like where title is India, name is Anil, body. This is post test created using rest assured user ID. All these things we passed. And on top of that, it created one ID, that is 101. Then we are try to fetch the title. So system.out.println response.jsonpath.getString. Title is a string type, so get string of title. So here it is India, so it printed India. Okay, and also we make couple of assertions. That is response.getStatusLine.contents 201 created, and one more response.jsonpath.getString of name. We expect Anil, name should be Anil. Okay, so that's how it works. Understood? This is post method. So let me put it on the full program on the screen. Okay, this is post method. That's how post method works. Understood? See, this is the complete program. Understood? So let me also adjust this. Yeah, this is the complete program of post method. Okay. So next, let's go to the slide. Then next one is read. So CRUD C completed, create, that means post completed. So we created. Okay, now read, we will read that. Read means fetch existing data, that is user details. HTTP method is get. So how exactly we are going to do that? Like given.when.get, just get the endpoint, and then the status code should be 200. So in case of read, or instead of get method, the status code should be 200. Okay, so let's create one get method. Let's go back and let's create one more test. So at the rate test, then public void get example. Let's say get example. Okay, then we'll just write down one base URI. So rest assured dot base URI is equal to rest assured dot base URI is equal to, let's say we'll use req res dot in. There is another there is another website also, you can use that. This is req res in. Okay, so let me show that req res in, and here you need to go to REST API testing. One second guys. So one second, req res in. One second. So you will go here. Actually, this one, okay. Yeah, let's say, one second, just checking. Yeah, perfect. So this website I was talking on. So if you will go down, just go down, okay. Just go down, further down, further down. Yeah. So you will see list of things. So this is the get method. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, I will just use this for my base URI. So this is the base URI. Okay. Then I'll write down a similar way, like response is equal to given. Okay. Then given dot, what exactly we do? Let's pass the header given dot, one second, write down. Okay, given dot, let's pass down the header. Okay, in the header it will be content type. First one will be content type. That's how you need to do the get. Just observe. Content type will be application slash JSON. Application slash JSON. Okay. Application slash JSON dot when. Okay. Dot get. So here I will pass the URL. So this is the URL. I need to pass as endpoint. 1 second. Let me click here. Okay, so this is the URL we need to pass. Copy and paste here. Okay, dot get. Then what I'm going to do, dot 10. Once I get it, then dot status code. Status code should be 200 dot extract dot response. Okay, that's how we'll find the get method. Okay, let's write down some SQL statements like system.out.println response dot status code. Then similar way, system.out.println response dot get status line. Okay, then let's print the body also, like system.out.println response dot JSON path dot get body, get response dot JSON path. Okay, actually you know to do JSON path, actually response dot get body, I think we can get, yeah, get body dot age string will display the whole JSON, whole body of the JSON. Okay, a string. And also let's put some assertions. Let's say assert dot assert equals response dot get status code comma 200 and status code should be 200. Okay, status code should be 200. Okay, next assert dot, let's say put assert true, assert, one more thing we can put assert dot assert true. Okay, assert dot assert true. Let's say we'll put down response dot, in assert dot assert true we'll put response dot get status line dot get status line dot contents, so it will be 200. Okay, 200. Okay, comma, let's say, then we'll write down the message will be status line should contain okay, status line should contain okay. Okay, that's how you need to write down. Okay, then you can put one more like assert, let's say assert dot assert true, then or else instead of assert true you can put assert equals also. Okay, there is one more assert type, assert dot assert equals, assert dot assert equals. So we'll put response dot JSON path dot get int. Okay, get int of page. Okay, then it should be 2, expectation should be 2, and page number should be 2. So let's see that page number. Let's see. For example, if you see here, you can get. So what exactly it is going to return? It will return page 2. Okay, page is equal to 2 and page should be 2. That means okay. So just write down page should be 2. Okay. So let's run this and we'll see the result. Okay, that's how get method will be. Let's run this. Let's see. Okay, see, it is executed successfully. See that. So what exactly it returns? So initially, one second, let me make it little bit. Okay. So little bit how we will do that. Okay, perfect. So if we'll see here, what exactly it is printing. So response dot status code is 200. Okay. Response dot get status line is HTTP 1.1 200. Okay. And response dot get body dot string. It will print the whole body. Okay, whole body it printed. Okay. Then I put some like assertions. Assertions is like, for example, status code should be 200, status line should be 200. Okay. Dot contents. Okay, response dot get status code should be 200. So status code should be 200. Response dot get status line dot contents. It contains 200. Okay, so that's why it is contain 200. Okay, so status should contain okay. Okay. Then response dot JSON path dot get int. So just I am checking the page. So that value should be 2. Page should be 2. Expected 2. Okay. All conditions satisfied. Okay guys. Understood? Similarly, if I want to fetch some value also, for example, I will write on system out of println response dot JSON path dot, let's say, get anything you can find. Let's say get total. Okay, I want to find get total. How can I find that? So I will write down dot total. JSON path dot get, sorry my bad, get string. Then I'll write down what I'll write down. I'll write down total. Okay, that's how it will return 12. Sorry, total. UTL total. Okay, so it will return 12. Let's run this. We will see. It will return 12. Let's run this. See, it returned total 12. Okay, that's how we will find out the value. Understood? Understood? Suppose you want to find out the value of ID. Okay, how exactly we'll do? Similar way, just write down one CSO method, system.out.println response dot JSON path dot get int, because it is integer type, get int of which one? Data dot id. Okay, so it will return 7. Let's print this. Because it in index position, like id is inside data. You will see here, for example, if you come here, you will understand. See here, where is data? Data is here. Inside data, id is there. So just print data dot id. Let's see what it is. Okay, understood. So basically what happens, there are several IDs, so that's why it will be confused, number format exception. So interesting. So it will see here what it is saying, number format exception for input string. Okay, 67. Okay, so here what we are going to do, basically get int. Okay, let's put get string. So it should be get string then. Let's put that. Okay. Yeah, we need to like careful like that. You need to see that. So it is a string type. So let's put get string then in this case. Okay. So it will return. See, it will return. Basically it's a string. So it return all the IDs 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So that is get. Understood? So now let's go back to the slide. Now CRUD create read completed using create means with post method and read with get method. Now we need to update. Let's say we need to modify some existing data. So there we will use, we want to modify the complete data, so we will use update. Modify existing data. Put update full record, and patch, it will update partial record. Let's see one by one. So example of put, like given dot content type applications as JSON dot body name on job dot qa dot when dot put that endpoint slash user slash 2 dot then dot status for 200. Okay, so let's create, yeah, let's create one put method like that. So I'll write down at the rate test. So public void put example, let's say put example. So in this case, what I'm going to do, I will update the whole complete data or complete body. So I'll write on rest assured dot base URI is equal to, I'll take, let's say I have created using which one, using post method, right? So that one I can use. So I have created with this. Let me use this one. So this is the base array. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to write down response is equal to dot given dot header. I'll pass the header here. Then in that header it will be content type, then application/json, okay, dot. Now what I'm going to do, I will pass the body, dot body. So in the body I'm going to pass like what I'm going to pass, let's say name would be Anil. Okay, so open curly bracket, close curly bracket. Then what I'm going to do, I'll write down name colon Anil. Okay, name colon Anil. Let me put the colon here. Sorry, double inverted comma. So I'll make some space. Okay, then comma, then I'll write down job. So again job. Okay, job will be, let's say anything, whatever I want. Let's say put some lead QA. Let's say lead QA. Okay, so now I need to mention it in proper way. This one, then this one, then this type, but this is the proper format, so that data will be updated. Otherwise it will show error. Then like that for job. Okay, so then lead QA. Okay, so like that. Then dot when. Okay, then I will put the endpoint dot put. Okay, I will use the endpoint. Which endpoint I am going to use? Put endpoint. Okay, it will come here. Like it will come here. 1 second. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so if you see for put, it is using which one? Post one. Okay. So I will use this endpoint post. Okay. Then after that I will write down dot, then dot status code. So here status code will be 200, then dot extract dot response. Okay. Also, I'll write down some CSO statement. System dot out dot println response dot. Let's say I'll write down response dot get body, get body dot, let's say string. Okay, I will find out the body, and in that what I'm going to do, I will put some assertions. Let's say assert equals assert equals, let's say response dot JSON path dot get string of which one I have updated. Let's say name, anything, name or job, anything I can find out. Let's say job, I'll go with job. So if I'll get the job, then it should be which one, lead QA. So lead QA, it should be lead QA, then comma, then what I'll write down, job should be lead QA. Okay, job should be lead QA. Okay, job should be lead QA. Understood? So let's run this and we'll check that. Okay, then 1 second, let's run this. See, so perfect. So name is Anil, job is lead QA, and you will see here it is showing the all the updated details basically. Okay, and assertion is passed. Okay, that's how put method works. Okay, next let's go back to the slide. Then there is patch method, patch. So it will be partial update. If you want to partially update your request, then you need to use patch instead of. So let's create one test, another test, and here I'm going to write down public void patch example. Okay, so in this let's create one. So rest assured dot base URI. So in this I will put the same base URI. Okay, and what I'm going to do here, okay, response is equal to given, okay, dot given dot, let's say header, so content type comma application slash JSON, application slash JSON. Okay, dot, let's pass the partial body which we want to update, body let's update job. Let's update only job. Okay, so here let's mention job 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 is manager. Okay, so earlier it was lead QA, now it is manager. Okay, what we are going to do, you can write down the proper formatting way so that it will be updated. So this is the way actually. Okay, then we pass the body, then we write down dot when dot patch patch. So in the patch we'll put, okay, 1 second. So let's put the endpoint. So if we'll go back here for patch, same endpoint, using same endpoint for patch also. So we'll put down here and dot, then dot status code, dot then status code should be 200, then dot extract dot response. Okay, so I'll write down system.out.println response dot status code. Okay, then system.out.println response dot body, response dot get body dot string will display the full JSON path. Okay, then assert dot assert equals, let's put some assertions. Assert dot assert equals, then what I'm going to do here, I'll write down response dot JSON path dot get string of job, basically I will write down of job. Okay, so the job will be, what will be the job here? Job will be manager. Okay, job will be manager, then comma job should be manager, job should be manager. Okay, so that's how it is. Let's run this and we will validate that. This is patch example. Okay, let's see. Okay, absolutely fine. It is absolutely fine, working fine. See, job is manager. It got updated. Okay, then like that, status code 200, body and job is equal to manager. Correct. Absolutely fine. This is how we write down patch method. Okay. Then next, go back to the slide. The last operation of the CRUD, that is delete. So it is basically remove the data. So it uses as delete HTTP method. Like for example, given.when.delete, we pass the URL and the dot status code should be 204. Okay, let's write down that. Let's write down that. 1 second. What I'm going to do, I'll write down one test at the rate test, and I'll write down one method public void delete example. Delete example. Okay, we'll write down delete example. Then what I'm going to do here, rest assured dot base URI. So in that I'm going to use the base URI. 1 second. So sorry. Okay, return the base URI, then response is equal to given dot when dot delete, oh sorry, delete of, what I'll do, I'll pass the endpoint, that is post slash 1. Okay, dot then dot extract dot response. Okay, then I will write system dot out dot println response dot status code. Okay, and next system dot out dot println response dot get body dot h string. Okay, let's run this and we'll verify the result. This is how we'll write down delete method. So let's run this. Okay, it is executing. Just wait. Yeah, see. So it got deleted. The status is 200, and if you see, no data is found. All the data got deleted. Body is null. The body is empty. Okay, that's how delete works. Okay, so next, if we will go back here, go back to the slide, then next will be okay, CRUD summary. So what exactly it is? C for create, that uses as post. R for read, that uses as a get method. U for update, which uses as put or patch. Put will be complete update, patch will be partial update. Then D for delete. CRUD ensures full coverage of API functionality. Okay, so now next will be some of the rest assured examples. Okay, so here if you will see, We have like different rest assured examples like query param, path param, headers, logging, okay, pagination. So different query params are there. So let's wind up here, and in the next session I am going to cover rest assured examples. So yeah, so that's it for today. So in the next session I am going to cover rest assured examples. Okay, till then, take care, bye bye. Please like it, subscribe it, share with your friends and family. Take care, bye bye. Thanks everyone.